Okay, take a seat.
Hi.
Hello. Why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Roy Brown, but my artist name is Roy Inc. I love a background noise. I'm a singer-songwriter, co-producer, and also a video producer. You need a man who's around when times are tough. You need a man knows you're the world and holds you up. You need a man acknowledges your strength and worth. You need a man. I need a man. I've performed in different places. I've, over the years, been in indie rock bands, now solo. One of the main places I've performed in is for Horse Meat Disco at the Eagle London. Also around London, different Earth Theatre, which is the first time for a long time that I performed, and it was Johnny Woo's big birthday bash, and that was a few years ago. And that was more or less the introduction or the debut of what I've been creating musically for our album called Rumspringa with the amazing and talented producer and multi-musicianist, and that's Darren Morris. I need a man. What is a man? Are you the man? What makes a man?
And how would you describe your music?
Collectively, as a genre, I would say it's in the dance, pop, alternative, disco, house genres. It's the genre that I'm actually doing now, because first and foremost, the genres or the inspirations of my lineage was gospel as a child. And then in my early 20s, then I sort of like went into rock music, indie rock and rock. And that's when I started writing. Prior to that, at school, I always did poetry. So I think that was like my connection to writing songs or lyrics. You need a man that stays and knows how to survive. You need a man that stays by your hand, brings you life. You need a man, he thirsts for your shining light. You need a man, where is that man?
Why singing?
Because it elevates me. It's something that it's like another human element. It's like breathing. It's like sleeping. It's like waking up alive. It's something that sustains me to get through the next day, and it sort of like impales me into the narrative of emotion, commentary, experiences, good or bad or indifference. It's a lifeline.
And where can people see you perform?
The next PEA that I'm going to do is on the 11th of October, and it's at an amazing night called, which is at the Eagle by chance, and it's called Handsome, and the promoter is Martyn FITZGERALD, who puts on these nights and has done for quite a numerous amount of years. And we're going to be performing the new EP that I've done with Spatial Awareness, and we're promoting 2 tracks. One's called What Is a Man, and the other track is called The Promise. And we are performing that, like I said, on the 11th of October this year, live on stage at the Eagle. And Martyn FITZGERALD also has remixed one of the tracks, and he's remixed The Promise. So we have a collective of producers and artists that have remixed that particular track.
What is a man? You need a man. Are you the man? Where is the man? What makes a man? Are you the man? I need a man.
The Eagle is a amazing club bar venue that caters for international DJs, safe space for the LGBTQAI plus community, as well as their allies, and the trans community, the drag, and anyone who respects that space. And that's the Eagle in a nutshell. And it also produces and puts on really great events, as well as their nights from Saturday to Sunday, and every Sunday is the house and the home of Horse Meat Disco. For the last, coming on 22 years this year, it's going to be Horse Meat Disco every Sunday. So those boys have been doing that for 22 years at the Eagle. And other than that, there's Saturday nights like Handsome, and there's other events also.
I need a man. What is a man? Are you the man? What makes a man? You need a man that stays and knows how to survive.
And how different is your stage persona to you as an individual?
Very different, I'd say. I wouldn't like to go and say it's my alter ego, because that's like speaking in the third person or the third term. But it's my brave self, I would say. Other than I'm quite extrovert, introvert in a sort of contradictional term or phrase. But it's something that I'm nervous about, but also very happy and comfortable being in that position. So it's a bit of a contradiction in terms, my persona, but it's near to who I am. I've come a long way, because when I was in my first band that I joined, called Recreation, and then that spurned on into Platinum, and then joined and put together with James Thomas, Platinum, and then This Is War. I used to get really, really nervous. I find it very difficult to be around anyone in the green room before walking onto the stage. So I used to find my space in the bathrooms or the toilets in the green room, and shut the door and lock it. And then I used to say to the band guys or the members of the band, like, please don't speak to me. Don't say anything. I just need to concentrate and wind down, to sort of like then wind back up into where I felt comfortable getting onto the stage. Now it's a lot better than that. I don't actually particularly get as nervous as I used to, but I do have that sort of like that apprehension and butterflies, and then, which I always think is a good thing before going onto the stage. And you're not sort of like carefree, and you don't really care if you don't have that. I always think it's a good thing to have a certain amount of nerves and a certain amount of that apprehension and sort of almost that fright before going on. It's excitement. It's almost like building you up before the assault onto people's emotions, because that's what you're dealing with when you get on stage. You're not there to just perform or to sing. You're actually connecting with people on a emotional level, hopefully on an emotional level, and your lyrics, hopefully the lyrics that you've written or I've written, that resonates with people and they understand what it's all about, that they feel that rhythm and beat and feeling of sound that runs through them as well. So in a nutshell, which wasn't, but yeah, a lot better.
What is a man? What makes a man? Are you the man? You need a man.
Why do you do what you do?
Because I don't know anything else. I don't think there's anything else I want to do, basically, or can do, that is life affirming and creative. I think I've found my home when it comes to singing and songwriting.
You need a man. Where is that man? What is a man? What is a man?